Guys, Joe here again. So now we're going to take that hip hinge, put it into a bit more of a complicated movement. Again, it's supposed to be a full body exercise with an emphasis on the posterior chain, so the low back, glutes and hamstrings are working really hard here. We're also working the core really hard here. So you want to take a wider stance than you would with the good mornings or the Romanian deadlifts. You want to take outside shoulder width. You point the toes out just a couple degrees. I'm going to start with the kettlebell way out front here, especially when it gets heavy. You're going to want to start with the kettlebell out front. So from here, I'm going to yank it back and then drive the hips forward. So the movement is a hip hinge. We're not trying to bend the knees forward or anything. We're not trying to use the front of the legs. We're trying to use the glutes and the hamstrings to move the weight. I want to make sure my back stays nice and flat and I'm not rounding over as I'm doing it. And I'll give a couple of demonstration reps here right from the start. So when I start, I want to really get that hip hinge started right from the start. I'm going to push my hips back, feel some tension in the hamstrings, have a nice flat back here, and then pop the hips forward. A couple of the main problems people run into with the kettlebell swings is using the shoulders to raise the weight out front. The arms are just hooks. They're just ropes hanging on to the weight. They're not doing any work here at all. The other issue that people run into, I'll show you right here, hyperextending. So I don't want to lean back as I push the hips forward. What you want to do is just push those hips forward and stand tall. So you want to think like a nice straight line from the ground up. Your entire body's in a straight line at the end of the movement. So no leaning back here. It's going to create a lot of pressure on the low back. So that's kettlebell swings, guys. Thanks for watching.